Lam said, Miss Lam, was basically overheard saying that she would quit if she could. How does this change or impact the story from your standpoint?
I don't think it has much impact whatsoever. I mean, my sources inside Hong Kong told me that she offered her resignation weeks ago, and the Communist Chinese Party running China rejected that proposal. They wanted her out there in front as opposed to putting somebody else in charge. But all that said, Maria, the CCP has been in charge day in, day out in Hong Kong now for some time. They've got senior police advisors on the ground there that are really calling the shots. And obviously we know they have military in the wings prepared to react if they're called in to deal with this demonstration. But they're in charge of it. And I think we've gone into a new phase, Maria.
Yeah, what is that new phase right now? Give us your sense of where we are with this right now. I mean, this is the 13th week.
Yeah, the new phase is they're outwardly arresting leaders of the demonstration as best they can determine who they are. This is a young people's movement who are organizing the demonstration, and they have many involved in that as opposed to one or two leaders themselves. But that is a sign that the CCP is going to begin the crackdown. They're trying to take the leaders away, which is obviously something that's been proven when you're putting protests down. That does, in a sense, undermine the protest itself. But with the Hong Kong people and how strongly they feel about this, I don't think arresting the leaders is going to change the quality or the quantity of this demonstration.
And we know that China has tracked all of its people. Even in Hong Kong, it's got facial recognition cameras. So it indicates who's at the rallies, who's actually protesting, because those cameras can pinpoint who is actually attending. Will there be backlash from the government?
Oh, yeah, it's indisputable. And the people, they have over 1,000 in the jail cells already, and many of the people who've been before some judicial hearing, they're being charged with 8 to 10 years because they used the word riot to describe their activities, and that gets a considerably greater jail sentence. There's a lot at stake here for the protesters, to be sure. But I don't see any end in sight, at least in the near term, to this protest. And the more they arrest, I think the more they're going to protest.
This is another example of China using artificial intelligence, right? I mean, I know AI is used in the military. How significant is its use in the military?
Well, AI is growing by leaps and bounds, and we're using it to help control drones in the air as well as on the sea. And China also is rapidly building this capability. In fact, I think their advancement is greater than ours because they got into it earlier, and their resources that they're applying to it are significant, literally 15 times as much as what we're putting into it. So I think they'll get there with a greater capability sooner than the United States, which is unfortunate because when new technology comes, it's always been the United States that's been on the leading edge of that technology, not China.